Yabba dabba doobie. How you doing, people? What is happening? It is September 2023. Wow. Okay. So at the moment I'm doing these release review episodes just about the different releases I've had. And so far we've done the Black Blanket EP, which was released in 2014. Then last month we did the Take Me Back EP, which was released in 2015. And now I have, for this episode, my first album release, which was the Little Green Street album in 2016. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, 14, 15, yes, 2016. 11 tunes on the album. I won't, because obviously the Black Blanket title track off that EP and the Take Me Back title track off of that EP, they're both on this album. So I've chose 4 tracks, not including them 2. So if you go back to the other 2 episodes and this one, you've got 6 tracks off of the album, and there's only 11 in total. So I think you can buy the tracks 79p on iTunes. So just go and buy the other 5 tracks, and yes, nice. Okay, so let me talk about this album a little bit. Okay, so this album was recorded with the original version of this album was recorded with a fella in Tottenham who I've mentioned before, called Marek. Basically, I was just looking around for someone to record some songs that I had, and I didn't really have the capability to do it at home, so I found this fella, Marek, who lived in Tottenham, and he was advertising that he had a little studio in his house, which he did. And I went down there and spent one day with him, and basically just flew through. No, sorry, I am very sorry. 2 days I spent with him, actually. Yeah, and we just, over the 2 days, flew through these 11 songs, and just you know what I mean? They're basically like mainly me singing acoustic guitar, but then where this Marek was a bit of a producer as well, he was like, oh yeah, let's add this to that and let's add that to that. And so we did it. And when I got home, I had Logic. I just didn't have all the gear to record stuff. Well, I had a little bit, but not very good. And I'm still not good at it now. But yeah, so when I got home, I sat down and listened to the tracks, and obviously he'd given me all of the stems and all the multi-tracks, and I went through it, and I weren't very happy at all. Do you know what I mean? It just weren't very good. So basically, I'd spent money making it, you know what I mean? So I basically put it into my own Logic and tweaked things as much as I could, you know what I mean? I suppose it was a learning experience. So the EPs, the 2 EPs and the album that were released from those recordings, they're not the original recordings. Like, there was lots of other stuff and that he wanted to have on the tracks, doing his little producer thing, but it weren't great. So I basically done a bit of recording with the old MIDI keyboard and things like that, and I tried to pull this album back together, you know what I mean? Which is a shame, because the 11 tracks on this album, they're all my tracks, like, because obviously, like, I've got lots of tracks that I've written with other people and stuff, and I didn't want that. I wanted to release something, you know what I mean, including the 2 EPs, the album, all the B-sides as well. There's another 6 tracks, so 17 tracks in total over the 2 EPs and an album, and they're all mine. Yeah, I thought I'd only use tracks that I'd like recorded myself. I mean, on my more recent albums that I've recorded, there are a few collaboration tracks that I've wrote with other people and all that, you know what I mean? Yeah, but so basically, yeah, we went through the 11 tracks over these 2 days, and then I took back to my house what I'd recorded with him, and then basically, like, because I recorded it all like in 2013, I think, and then 2014, the album still weren't. I mean, it's a shame really, because like they're great songs, and I feel that if they had a bit more amazing production behind them and stuff, we could have made a great album. So you never know, in the future I might release an album called Little Green Street, This Is It, or something like that, and it will be that the same album, just with plenty more production, you know what I mean? And I'm not 100% sure of all 6 B-sides, where they was. I don't know if there's any live. I know that a lot of them are like the first tracks to be recorded at Chapman Studios, but there might be a couple of live versions. I can't really remember, but check the last 2 months episodes of Chapcast. 43, 44, I think. This is 45. September 23. Wow. Been doing this quite a while now. Still only got about 15 people that actually look at it. You never know. But it for someone to discover me now, you know what I mean? And then think, oh, and then go on my YouTube channel and see what you've got. You know what I mean? There's loads of stuff on there to, you know what I mean? It'd take you a good couple of months to get up to date, you know what I mean? And that would be with a lot of watching. Yeah, so this album is my first attempt at releasing an album on my own. It's recorded at Marrick's place and here at Chapman Studios as well. It's all mixed and mastered by myself. Yeah, so should we get into it? Yeah, all right. So the first track I'll play you is the title track of the album, which is Little Green Street. And yeah, it goes a little bit like this.
Growing up on a red brick council estate, where the nights are dark but the days are bright, meeting up at the bottom of the stairs to play for gold. I remember run-outs and playing he-ball. Volleys will use garage free. I'm in the center, you can cross them to me. I remember building camps and climbing trees, and knocking dollies with Bonnie and Dean. Green Street leads the way to the place we used to play in Gestry Road, Kentish Town. Yeah, that's my stomping ground. Let's build a barbecue with Peter Hill. Let's live our lives and keep it real. Let's launch a brick into the conker tree. If it hits that murk, then it's nothing to do with me. Little green street leads the way to the place we used to play in Gestry Road, Kentish Town. Yeah, that's my stomping ground.
Do 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 do. Yeah. Little Green Street. I can remember that, writing that song in the council estate that I grew up on in Gester Road, Kentish Town. Yeah, I was just sitting out on the balcony with my acoustic guitar. I had a load of pals there, and I think we might have even been having a barbecue. It was in the summer. Don't know when, back years ago. Yeah, and I was just mucking around with the acoustic guitar, but an hour later I had a song, and it was funny because like a lot of my friends are not really into music and that. Do you know what I mean? Well, they are into music, but they're not into rock and roll, if you like. But I remember once I'd written it, I was like, right, now you're all gonna listen to it. I've got that recording somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's a recording from being like filmed with an iPhone or whatever the phones were that had cameras back then. Nice. Okay, so yeah, so that was the title track, Little Green Street. Listen to the lyrics. It's just chatting about growing up on Ingester Road, really. And then, yeah, so let's move on. And next track I've got for you is a song called Fever for the Music. I wrote that song in Chapman Studios. Well, the room that is now Chapman Studios was my bedroom back in the day. And yeah, I can remember sitting on my bed, and I remember it was the first song that I ever wrote using barred chords. And I was quite like happy with that. But then I remember I went to my rehearsal of The Voice or whatever, and I took the song along, showed everyone, and then we started to rehearse it. And then I remember I was like, 'cause at the time I was playing guitar, and I can remember like standing up playing these bar chords, like, and I was thinking, God, I can't. Do you know what I mean? I'm a singer. Please, somebody play the guitar. Yeah, and then I remember like the other band members saying to me, well, just play open chords if you're struggling with the old bar chords that you wrote it with. And I was like, okay, what are they? And it's like, well, that is an A minor. That's a D. There's your verse. Yeah, so all right, so have a listen. This is Fever for the Music.
Got a feeling deep down inside. It's such a feeling that I've got to cry. Fever, fever. I said fever, fever. It wakes my morning, it ends my day. It keeps me flowing in God's way. Yeah, fever. I said fever. down inside. It's such a feeling, I feel alive. This music fever has got me now. All I can do is scream and shout, fever. I've got this feeling deep down inside. It rocks my world, it storms your night. It's fever. I said fever. It's such a feeling deep down inside. It's such a feeling, I feel alive. This music fever has got me now. All I can do is just scream and shout, fever.
Nice. Yes. Yeah, I proper like that song. I'll rate that song. I think it's wicked, and hearing it full band as well, amazingness. Like, it's mad because from that recording, the only thing that survived from Marek's place was the backing vocal. That's like fever. That's the only bit of recording. Like everything else, all the guitars, keys, I mean, like the synth, that's all recorded at Chapman Studios. And then I had those recordings on the recordings I'd done with him, and I don't know, I just liked it, so I chopped it off of his recording and I brought it into this Logic project that I had it all in, and I just stuck them on this recording. Yeah, so that was all right. Nice. And that backing vocal, that used to be done by James Till, who was the bass player of The Voice back in the day. Yeah, and I remember like when we used to play that, he used to do that bit like fever. Yeah, and it's a shame that I haven't actually got a full band recording of it, because the bass line that he used to play in it as well is like dum dum da da boom boom dum dum da boom 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 dum, and yeah, the full band version of this song is fucking top stuff as well, mate. Nice. All right, let's move on. All right, next song is a tune called Hampstead Heath. Now, a little bit of background on this. Okay, so basically, I was in a band called The Tally after The Voice, and we had. I've explained this in multiple episodes and stuff. Like whenever I've come across one of the 7-8 tunes that I sort of did this with. But anyway, this version of Hampstead Heath you're going to hear is what I, do you know what I mean? This is what I recorded back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, and this is how I wrote the song. But it happened numerous times, like 7-8 times, where it happened more with Richard Fox, when he used to say to me, yeah, I got this bass line. He's like, I was like, all right, record it for me on the voice memos and that, and when I get home, because so we don't waste our rehearsal, I'll just work on it. Anyway, so, but this time it was with Steve Smith, who was the lead guitarist in the band, and basically he had this riff that's not on this version. It's on the version that I wrote with him. And basically he had a recording of it and he sent it to me, and it's great. It is great. It's like, this song is great twice, you know what I mean? It's this, but like this version you're going to hear is my own little, do you know what I mean, version, but it's great anyway. But then if in the future I will try to get a copy of me playing it with Steve, because he had this guitar riff, like, and I listened to it and I was like fucking hell, do you know what, my Hampstead Heath, it will go with that just so great. It's just like thump, it'll fit, you know what I mean? Only a little bit of hanging on notes and letting notes go, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, definitely. I was just like, I listened to this recording and I knew straight away, I was like, Hampstead Heath goes with that. And do you know what I mean? It is the version that I did with him is fucking amazing, you know what I mean? But I ain't that good on the guitar, you know what I mean, as him. Like, yeah, it's great. It's great. It is great. Yeah, but anyway, this version is what I had in the old archive, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I write songs and I just think, oh, I can't do anything with this one, I can't do anything with that one. But the minute I heard this music Steve had, I was like, fucking hell, that is great. Like, I need to put this Hampstead Heath with that music, you know what I mean? Makes the song greater. So I've done that. But then when we split, like, I'd fallen in love with the song by then, you know what I mean? And I was like, fucking hell, man. Now do you know what I mean? Now I don't really see or speak to Steve or Richard or Jack. Like that song's gonna be lost, like, do you know what I mean? So I was like, I've got to go back to the original basic song, and do you know what I mean? And play that song. You know, I mean, play it in the way that I can play it on my own, you know what I mean? So I dug it all out and I just proper worked on it and then so yeah, so this is what you're going to hear now, and basically this is moi. This is the original Hampstead Heath, what it was in the beginning. Yeah, have a listen. Nice.
With the flying kites, overlooking life in my paradise, Hampstead Heath, that's where I'll be, that's what I need inside my city. A pond's mist, a swan's hiss, a swimmer on the diving board. Yeah, this morning's crisp, Hampstead Heath, that's where I'll be, that's what I need inside my city. You've got to get outside, you've got to grab hold of life. Yeah, get yourself outside, get back into the sunshine. Hampstead Heath, that's where I'll be. That's what I need inside my city. Hampstead Heath, that's where I'll be. That's what I need inside my city. A view from a hill waving flying kites, overlooking life in my paradise.
Nice. Yes. And that was Hampstead Heath, and that track was actually completely recorded here, because I remember the recording I did with Marek was no good, so I re-recorded it here at Chapman Studios, and I've done that little piano solo. Yeah, nice. Yeah, great song. Okay, so the last tune that I'm going to put on this episode of Chapcast is a song called History. Everyone's got a song called History, ain't they? Yeah, but this is my history. Yeah, so we will listen to that, and then I have a bit of a chap tale for you. And then, yes, all right, well, let's listen and then let's talk. Okay, nice one. This is History.
Some say my history is based upon the wrinkles on my face. Each line represents a time. Well, good and bad, it's all mine. So where you hiding tonight? Space for two, I think I might. Round it up, it's all the same. And do they even know my name? Illustrations of me are what I need, but pictures of Lily are what I see. Running through my mind is the essence of time. Some say my history is gonna catch up with me. A ball of wall is my mind. And do you think you'll have the time to sort me out and set me free, and let me be where I want to be? Illustrations of me are what I need, pictures of Lily are what I see, running through my mind is the essence of time. Some say my history is gonna catch up with me.
Yes, and that was History, and another good tune. That the vocal and acoustic guitar is recorded with Marek in Tottenham, and then I have stuck everything else on around it that's there. There might be some trumpets and just some stuff. I don't know. Have a listen, see what you think. Nice. Okay, well, we are coming closer to the end of this month's episode now. So what have we got left for you? So I've got a chap tale that's not really about music. This chap tale is to do with skiing. Going skiing. Be careful when you go skiing. Just basically letting you know what a silly person I am sometimes. But I'm sure it'll bring a smile to a couple of faces. So that was the 4 tunes that I was picking to show you from the album Little Green Street. But if you would like, you can go over to iTunes or Amazon Music or YouTube Music or any of them download sites, and you can download the album Little Green Street, and then you can tell me what you think about the other tracks. Tell me what you think about all of the tracks. Nice. Okay, so just trying to think if there's anything else I was gonna chat about. No. So, I mean, that was my first attempt at an album. Well, this is like 4 tracks of that album. As I say, you can listen to Black Blanket and Take Me Back on the last 2 months' episodes. And then the other 5 tracks on the album, you can download the album, download individual songs. You can stream it if you go to Spotify or Apple Music, one of those streaming sites. And just let me know what you think in the comments and stuff. And okay, well, I will speak to you all very, very soon. Mwah.
Chap tales, don't you wanna hear some chap tales?
Hey. How you doing, people? Another chap tale. Another one not to do with music. This one is about a time when I went skiing. Used to love skiing when I could see, but obviously, well, saying that, what's that bird's name? That skier, is it Ellie? And she's right fast and blind, so don't give up your dreams. Anyway, I went, this one is about a trip that I made to Bulgaria, Sofia, and I went with my wife Angie for a week skiing. Angie had never skied before, and I sort of told her that I could teach her, and I wasn't very good at teaching, but yeah, it was a good holiday anyway. Other stuff that we did, but anyway, this one day, right? Well, to start off, right, we'll like every day coming out of the hotel, walking up this road that leads to where the start off chairlifts are, like at the slopes or whatever. And there's shops, like skiing shops and stuff all the way up the street and that. And one day I spotted in the window that they sold these little skis that were basically like shaped like feet, bigger than a foot, but not as big as a ski. You know what I mean? They're called like little feet or whatever. And I thought, amazing, that'd be great. So we went in the shop and I bought a pair, and then they was pretty easy to fit them to ski boots, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I had them for that holiday. But anyway, this one day we went up a different ski slope. I mean, a different chairlift that I'd never used, and it was my second time in that resort, but I'd never been up that way in my life. But so I took Angie up there with could have been black runs, you know what I mean? Only black runs. But yeah, so we got up there, and I think there was like all sorts up there. It was like another resort. Like, it was just unbelievable that I'd been. This is like nearly the end of my second week in this place, and I've never come across it before in my life. But anyway, so yeah, Angie was struggling a bit with the old skiing, like, and quite worried about her, like, because we was coming down this slope, and she's just gone off to the right into the trees, like, and when I got to her and got down to her and all that, she'd managed to go into the middle of a load of trees and not hit nothing. I couldn't believe it. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so got her out of there, whatever, and then got her back on her skis, but I put these big feet back on or whatever, so I skied off again, and she's like trying to follow me or whatever. But then I skied over to the other side of the slope, because that's sort of, we was veering off to the left for some reason. But so anyway, I've sort of stopped by the left hand side of trees, and just looking for Angie, and I couldn't see her at first, like, and I was like, oh God, where is she? Like, so I'm standing there with these big feet on, and do not ask me how I've done it, but I've slipped backwards, and I've just gone backwards down this hill, like, that comes off the main hill, but it's just covered in trees. Like, Angie went off the other side. This is the opposite side to that, but still trees everywhere. So I'm slipping down this thing on my back, yeah, and I can just see trees coming past my head, left, right, left, and I'm thinking to myself, God, any second now I'm gonna smash into one of these trees. And oh yes, I covered the back of my head with my hands and lifted my head forwards, which was not good, because the route I was on was sort of going to miss all the trees. But then I've brought my head up to the left slightly and just whacked a tree on my way past, and I was just laying there at the bottom of this little slope, all trees everywhere, and I was just like, couple of £100 pair of sunglasses gone. Didn't find them ever again. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm laying there, and I'm like, oh shit, like, proper hurt, like, smash on the head and that. So anyway, after about 20 minutes, I sort of got myself together a bit, and I thought, God, I need to get back up this hill onto the main ski slope so I can sort of flag Angie down and get her to help me to I don't know, just get me off the slope or whatever. But so I pulled my way back up to the top of this thing, got out onto the slope, and then I'm sort of sitting on the floor along the tree line, but on the main slope now, so I can see all the skiers going past me now, and I couldn't see Angie for shit. And then I didn't realise, but my face was covered in blood, because where I'd hit my head, I'd cut my head open, and I was bleeding like a pig. And so I'm sitting there, and then this fella's sort of gone past me and sort of had a look back at me, and he just stopped straight away. He was like, nice fella or whatever. So I don't know, he's probably Italian or Bulgarian or whatever. But he's come over to me and he sort of said, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm all right, don't worry, I'm all right. And then he's like, I've got to phone the doctor. And I was like, I didn't really want him to, but what'd you say, eh? Especially when you don't speak the lingo. So anyway, he's phoned this, I don't know, this patrol that's out on the slopes, like, looking for exact things like that, accidents. And this guy's like come over to me, and he's like looking at me and that, and he's like, and he's like helping, like fixing me up and all that. And he had some big like a sled that you could lay in that's attached to his waist that he like skis down the slope, and the sled's on the back of him. Anyway, so he's there, he's cleaned me all up with all these wipes and all that, he's bandaged me all up, everything. And then basically he's like, right, get in that and I'll take you down the slope. And I was like, nah. There's no way I'm getting in that thing. It looked more dangerous than bloody anything else I'd done that day. So after a while of me saying to him no, he just got the idea in the end and left me bandaged up, sitting where I was sitting when I climbed back up onto the slope. Anyway, I thought I could see that not too far down there's like a plateaued bit that's sort of like, and it looked like there was like a calf there, and it looked like there was a road as well actually that was at the side of the slope and that. Anyway, so I thought to myself, I've got to wiggle down on my bum, and so I'm there and I've got my skis and poles under my arm, and I'm on the floor and I'm coming down this ski slope on my bum. Anyway, get like fairly to the bottom of it, and then I realised that Angie's standing there like looking for me, like, and then like she's noticed me or whatever and come running over to me, and she's like, what's happened to you? And I was like, oh my god. I was like, babe, I swear, I told her exactly what had happened. I went over to that side of the slope and thought I'd stand there while I was waiting for her, and then I slipped down here and done my head in. Anyway, and then I was like, I don't really fancy carrying on skiing. Like, she's like, all right, there's a road there. We'll have to walk down, won't we, along this road? I don't know how long it is or whatever, but we got over to the road, and to our joy, there was a couple of cabs there, like with ski racks on the roof, and like it was just great. So we went up to one of them, and the guy could see my head, and he's like, oh, you okay? And I was like, yeah. I was like, get us back down to the old hotel, please, mate. He's like, sweet, okay. He didn't say sweet, actually, that's just my lingo. He said okay or whatever, and stuck our skis on his roof and that, and we got in the cab like that had like extra leg room because obviously them wearing them big boots and that, and he's took us back to our hotel, thanked him, he shot off, and then we were in the hotel, and like that was it. Like there was still a couple of days of skiing left, but after having a bump on the head like that, I did not want to ski at all. And Angie didn't really care less, like she preferred to do other stuff than ski, like she's not really into it. And since my eyes have like been as bad as they are now, I've not been skiing again yet, but you never know what the future holds. But yeah, so we at the hotel and that, and then we spent like a night, like we'd paid to go out on this, I don't know what it was like going out to some restaurant with all the people that had come over from England or whatever, and having a meal with everyone or whatever, and we'd already paid for that, like, and it was funny because Angie went to this meal like and got them to do me like a takeaway, and she brought it back to our room where I was sitting feeling sorry for myself, and we had a fat old munch. But skiing is not Angie's thing, and I doubt I'll get her up a slope again, even though it is so beautiful when you get up high in the mountains, and you know what I mean, you're just breathing that fresh air and looking at it. It's fantastic. Yeah, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that little thing with you. Also, before we like leaving to come home, like we had to go to a doctor's, like, 'cause that was what I said to this guy that wanted to take me down the hill, that I would visit this doctor's and to make sure I was alright or whatever. It weren't to do with me being alright, it was to do with me paying them money. But the next evening we went to this doctor's or whatever, and it was like flipping trying to get in the door. It was proper icy around it, and it was like we was skiing about outside the doctor's, like. But we got in there, like, and he took the bandages off, checked it all over, bandaged it back up, and basically give me a charge that cost me about £150 because I had to have that geezer come to me on the slope. But yeah, we after the doctors went back to the room, the next day was our last day, and basically we just give our room back, give all the ski equipment back, and then went to the capital, Sofia, and spent the day there, and that was right near to where we was getting a plane home. So yeah, after spending the day in Sofia, we went home. But yeah, if you go skiing, be a bit careful, because you never know what could happen. Nice one.
Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales?